Alright guys, today I'm going to be taking out a pretty cool gun. It is the Winchester model 1894 3240. The 3240 is a 32 caliber bullet over 40 grains of black powder. That's sort of how a lot of those old calibers and rifles that Winchester and Marlin made, they were the caliber of bullet over how many grains of black powder. This particular rifle here was built according to the serial number in 1905. Now my grandfather was giving us grandkids some of his guns, and my cousin got this as he did the 3040 Craig that I shot my big buck a few years ago with, and I said, hey, I want to take that gun out and try to shoot a deer with this one too. I ended up getting the 2520 and an old 3032, so I've been really wanting to take this gun out and try to shoot a doe with it. We got to know a little bit of the history of the 3240. Basically, we need to start in around 1882. Winchester came out with the 3220. Now the 3220, also known as the Winchester centerfire, the 32 Winchester centerfire. Now in 2 years later, Ballard, for their Union Hill single shot rifle, created and designed the 3240. This 3240 was designed for a very accurate target rifle. And it was only a couple years later that Winchester and Marlin took the 3240 and incorporated it into a lever action. Now this gun was originally made for black powder. At the turn of the century, smokeless powder was coming onto the market, and a lot of people reloaded with black powder, and they really weren't sure too much about smokeless powder. So around 1895, the 3030 came out, or 30 Winchester centerfire came out. Winchester wanted to make a rifle that was more powerful than the 3240, but have a bigger caliber bullet that was bigger than the 3030. And so they came out with the 32 Special. These old 3240s, it was very difficult to hand load and get them up to the rate of a 3030 or a 32 Special. You could get close, but it wasn't quite the same. The difference on why the 30 caliber won out, this is why the 3030, everyone is the classic deer rifle. You don't hear too many people with a 32 Special, is because you had more options with bullets and things like that with the 30 caliber bullets than you did the 32. 32 was established as an awesome, accurate round, but it sort of just got won out by that 30 caliber bullet. It's just, those are a little things of the history behind this 3240. This is why the competition between the 3030 and the 32 Special, the 3240 just wasn't going to make it. This was designed mainly for target, and then they took that 32 caliber bullet that was sustained for its accuracy and started creating bigger, faster guns for bigger game. Now that doesn't mean that this is not a hunting rifle. You just don't have the energy, so you don't want to be taking extremely long shots with this. Now granted, it is open sight, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to be shooting that far, but I'm going to try to stay 75 yards or closer on the shots with this. And you know, because it's accurate, a well-placed shot right behind the shoulder, this is more than enough to take down deer. And so we're going to go out and see if we can get something. Some of the important things you have to know when you get into the deer woods is, regardless of whether it's private property or public land, I'm hunting family-owned land that actually does get pressured. It's not a perfect paradise here where you're just running around with monster big bucks all over the place. the deer do get pressured here. You have to learn over the years to get to know your land that you hunt. Know all of those little dips and valleys and springs and creeks and deadfalls and thickets and all those types of places, because that's where the deer are going to be hiding. They're going to be looking for those spots that they can use the wind to their advantage. They're going to be set it up where they can see for a long ways, where they're going to catch you before you ever see them. So you want to constantly be looking at those spots. The best time to do that is after deer season's over, when the snow comes and you can find those historical bedding areas, and then you can pinpoint those for the next season. So when deer need to hide, you know where they're at. Then it's fine-tuning, using the trees and the lay of the land to your advantage, the wind to your advantage, using the stream like I am right now talking to the camera. I'm using the stream to drown out my voice, so I'm not scaring any deer close by. Those are the types of things that you need to look for when you start hunting deer. So I'm just gonna walk along this stream and just kind of catch for those deer to be laying on the ridge and little dips beside rocks, deadfalls, and see if I can pick out that coloration of the hair that separates them from the colors of the trees, even though they're shades of brown and grays. But you need to be able to pick those out. So I'm actually going to be walking somewhat average speed until I get close to those places I expect to see deer. Then I'll slow down and really start using my eyes and sneak real slow and not be looking down, but constantly be scanning for colors and movement and anything that I could help bring myself to sneak up on a doe. This just makes me sick. This deer is in the center of our property, and none of us guys shot at this deer. That means it was probably a gut shot, and the deer ran the whole way down here and laid there till it died. I don't know what that thing is on its mouth. Almost looks like a sore or something. Could have got injured from fighting, but it really a big blow when you're trying to do quality deer management and you find nice, good 2-year-old bucks dead like that. It's just, it makes me sick when I find them. And I find one or two every single year. In fact, the biggest buck that I was watching last year, a real nice 8-point, it wasn't too much bigger than that one. Shot, probably got shot, found dead in the middle of the woods. And you know, I hear a lot of people complain about archery hunters. I'm telling you, rifle hunters kill more deer than flintlock and shotgun and archery hunters combined. Because I never find dead deer from archery season. I always find them from rifle season. So, hard to say who shot that. Obviously didn't make a good shot. Very, very disappointing. Very disheartening. Just, my heart just sunk, you know? I mean, that's a buck I would have let go. I would have let that buck go for the next year. And somebody shot it. And it's really, really, really hard to practice quality deer management on, I'm even on private property, and this stuff still happens, you know? It's not, it's really, really tough. And sad that deer goes to waste. That's why you don't see me shooting too many bucks. Because I find too many like that, you know? I wish the person that shot it would have got it. I would have much rather seen that than it actually laying here rotting away and the coyote's starting to eat it. And but I don't see any bullet holes in the upper side, so it seems like they're starting right there where the guts are. Maybe that's where the hole was, and that's where they started digging at first. That's why I shoot a lot of doe, because of that reason right there. But there's more important things than that. I mean, I've got a lot of doe, and I'm just as happy to shoot a doe than a buck. So I'm coming down around this creek. Like I said, I've been following the creek. It's also a good thing. You can also find a lot of dead deer along the creek because they usually run downhill, and you'll find them near water. Not because they need the drink, but just because they're running downhill. It's easier for a wounded deer to run downhill than it is uphill. So, okay, on to the hunt. Gotta keep your eyes looking on those ridge lines. That deer busted me, and what, you know where that deer's at? Anybody recognize these deadfalls? Because right over there, right behind that tree, is where that big 8-point was on the 3rd day of the season. And remember how I said about this log I'm on right here? Because this is that valley. This is that 30-foot drop off. And this is what that deer was doing. He was bedded over here. He was bedded right here. So he could look right down in there. He caught me coming right through those pines. And as soon as I come out, I noticed him right here, bedded. Now, there's no snow or anything, so, but I just picked up the back end, but it was too late. When I peeked out around, he was already looking down at me, and I got away from the creek, and so this was his field of view. He was just staring down there, so he caught me way before that I would have ever actually seen him. It's really hard when they're watching you come from a long ways away. Well, I'm up here on top of the hill, going through these pine trees and goldenrods, and just wanted to show you. There's the buck. But that's the buck that I found dead last year. Somebody got shot, and it ran way into the middle of our property. So it's such a shame every single week. And last year, that was the biggest buck on the property. Me 6 months to find ammo. Now I could have bought collector's ammo and really high-end expensive ammo that people were having that were charging outrageous amounts, but I really wasn't spending that much money for a gun that I didn't even own, and I was only going to shoot it a few times. I shot it a few times at Thanksgiving. This thing is dead on. I mean, it's amazing. We never even messed with the sights. It was dead on. It's that action. Oh, it's so perfect. And now I couldn't actually find real 3240 brass, but these are actually 3030 casings, and all you'd have to do is put them in a 3240 die, and you can get these 3030 brass to work with the 32 caliber bullet. And you know, you don't really have the shoulder on it, so it's more tapered down, but yeah, that's really, you can reload if you have 30-30 brass for the 32-40. Boy, this really upsets me. Just walking through. Right there's Danielle and I's deer stand right there. And right here, look at this. This makes me sick. There's another nice buck. Dead. Somebody hit it, made a bad shot, ran up over here and died. Looks like it's an 11 point. There's a point there. Maybe the brow tine, I don't know, 10 point at least. I've had this one on trail camera. I don't know what do you do? What do you do to prevent stuff like this from happening? Can't really see where it got shot. Deer like that just doesn't just fall over dead for no reason. And the fact that it's right here by our deer stand, it's a nice buck. He would have been nice, you know, trying to have family, get deer, and here we have two nice bucks dead. And I don't, it really just doesn't make me want to shoot a buck at all. It doesn't. Not real heavy, not real wide. But, I mean, he had so much potential and just gonna rot away. I mean, the antler restrictions only work if, you know, people make good shots on the deer too. I mean, if you go around and, you know, injure and kill a bunch of nice bucks like that, you're never going to have the potential. That's why, so far in this video, I haven't really seen a buck yet, because now two of them are dead. I mean, I'm going to shoot a doe. I already know I am not going to shoot a buck. I don't care. I'm not going to shoot a buck this year because of that fact right there. Well, it's getting to be about a whiteout. My visibility is really dwindling. It's going to be hard to actually tell if it's a spike or something, unless it's like within 35 yards. So hopefully tomorrow I can get it done.
Man. Nah. Hey.
I know the video isn't going to show it, but I have worked extremely hard just to get a doe. This wind and the snow and that crunch, and I keep getting busted, and every time I find a deer, it never wants to stay still enough. And oh man, I mean, everything a deer can do without even realizing, always putting a tree or brush in between itself and me, and where it'll look like it's going this way, and I'll try to cut it off and I'll turn around and go the other way. Finally, I'm walking out this logging road, and I'm looking down over, and I spot a couple doe walking down there. Now the wind is in my favor, and they were walking into the wind, but I don't know what happened, but something spooked them and they turned around. So I had to get down low and come out this road, and I started peeking down over. When I did that, I noticed they were coming right up at an angle. Usually they follow these old logging roads that are cut down into the bank from years ago, and they'll follow them up. Well, they were doing the opposite, crisscrossing and going like this up over the wrong direction. So I'm running out this road, and just so happens the doe steps out in the road where the dip is, and I knew there were two of them. So I go running out the road, didn't realize I had the camera on record the whole time, set the tripod back up, get up, and it's facing straight away from me. And I'm thinking, okay, as soon as it turns to the right, I'm taking the shot. Well, what's it do? It jumps across the road into the woods. As I'm standing there, just frustrated, I look over and I see a big doe head come up over the bank and look right at me and turn and look away. And I'm like, she doesn't even realize I'm here, standing 30 yards away. So I just kind of guessed where she was going to come out, and I'm right behind the camera, and I looked, and the camera had a better angle for brush than I did. I actually had to, when I was down like this, I actually had to lower myself almost 12 inches just to get right there behind the shoulder, and it looked like I nailed her good right behind the shoulder. She ran down over that hill, so I think she's going to be done for, so we're going to go take a look at her. You can kind of, I don't know if that really shows you anything, but iron sights. Let's go walk down here. Okay. I thought I hit some, like a branch, but I'm not sure. But I wasn't too worried about one little branch. Not sure where the branch was. Maybe I didn't hit a branch, I don't know. I was standing right up there on the road. The other doe walked out there. Right here is her tracks. She went down here. She hit right there. Oh, good thing I don't have my gun loaded. Getting into some blood. She ran out along this hillside. Keep finding blood. She can't be too far. That's what I like to see. Oh, a little bit of blood on the snow. Yep. Good blood, good blood. Well, now look at that. Now, why wouldn't they just stand there like that earlier? Anyways, I don't see any fawns with that doe, so that little fawn must have been fine. Must have already found the doe. Now, it came straight downhill. I'm maybe 70 yards straight now, but it will not take her very long, even with a hard shot, to get down this far. Probably gonna end up finding her by the creek. Looks like she hung out here for a second. Come over here. Am I seeing a white belly? Am I seeing a white belly? Maybe not. Maybe it's snow. Well, see, that's how quick you can lose blood when you're not looking at the ground. Where in the world? Oh. How in the world did I walk past that thing? Like I said, take your eyes. I thought that white there behind the tree was the deer, and yeah, I just said that. So it looked like she was kind of nose plowed the whole way down through here. Oh my goodness. Another big old doe. Well, there's the stream. She didn't quite make it. I'm probably 100 yards. Probably 100 yards. Well, yeah, maybe 100 yards straight down the hill. And so she didn't make it very far. And right there is the exit hole. So that's pretty good. Pretty good. Lung and heart shot. Awesome. All right, there she is. Second doe of the 2018 season. It's the Thursday of the rifle season. Man, she's a big, look at the head on that thing. It's like a cow. Even the body in the camera, I'm looking at the camera through my LCD screen, and it just doesn't really show how big this deer is. And I think it's just awesome I took it with this 32-40. I mean, such an old gun, an odd caliber. I mean, it has enough to get the job done, and it's very accurate, and put the bullet right where I was aiming, and with iron sights. I mean, this is awesome. With a gun that my grandfather had that he passed down to my cousin, and I used it. Boy, I tell you what, even though with all the disappointments of finding dead bucks around and things like that, I'm just glad that I was able to take one of these big doe. Got a couple days of the rifle season left. Maybe I can film Ron or some of the other guys. It's hard to say who's all going to come up. Just very fortunate. God blessed me today with another big mature doe, what I was after. All the praise and honor and glory go to him. Just something truly special to hunt for these big giant doe. Man, especially with an old American rifle, it's awesome.